We have another dangerous winter weather day across the area for today. So we have a lot to talk about. Winter is the headlines across all of our forecast zone, and we have a look at what to expect today. Already this morning, we have had winter weather moving into the region in the form of sleet, and additional precipitation is on the way into tonight. So here's a look at your forecast. I'm Joshua Weisel. Thank you for tuning in on this Tuesday. Highs today are going to be 27. We're going a little bit lower with our highs today than some other outlets just because the models have not had the best grasp with this Arctic air as it moves into the area. So there's some models that were pushing warmer temperatures, but we just don't see that given the conditions that we have and some other factors going into this forecast. So we're going to go a little bit lower. We're talking a high, let's say roughly between 27 and 29 across the region, with lower 20s the further north and northwest that you go in the region, with a 100% chance of precipitation today. So that's a look at what we've got going on today. Here's a look at tonight. We're talking not a whole lot of difference between our high and our low overnight. We're going to be in the 20s once again tonight. We're talking mid to lower 20s for a large portion of the region, with precipitation likely overnight as well, and lows of 25 in Dallas-Fort Worth. Winter precipitation is the main concern once again today. There could be a cold rain further to the southeast, but I think that the overall risk for winter precipitation has pretty much shifted to include most of our coverage area, if not all of it. So as you can see, likely precipitation in the form of winter precipitation. We're talking sleet, maybe freezing rain today across the area. And we have included pretty much all of North Texas just because we've already seen winter precipitation this morning. We've seen sleet and even some freezing rain in some areas. So we have all this going on this morning. We have more on the way. So we've pretty much covered our entire area and that likely risk for winter precipitation. So I want to show you just real quick, and our forecast might be a little bit longer than usual, but we just want to give you an explanation on why this is sleet as opposed to snow. We've gotten a bunch of messages from users and followers across social media wondering, why is it that we're getting sleet and not snow? Because we know many of you would rather prefer the snow. Snow is just generally more enjoyable than ice. So the reason that is because you can't see the reason that it's coming down as ice and not as snow. It's a mile above your head. So if you look, we have this orange area. This is roughly about a mile to 2 miles up above your head. That is a warm layer of air in that area that you see that's orange. And when we get sleet as opposed to snow, there is a freezing layer of air higher up in the elevated areas of the atmosphere. That's when the precipitation comes down in frozen particles. It hits a warm layer of air just roughly above the surface by a mile, and then that starts to melt. When that melts, it enters refreezing temperatures just above the surface, and then those particles refreeze, and that's when it comes down in the form of ice. That's when you get sleet. In order to get snow, you need every layer of the atmosphere to be pretty much below freezing so that precipitation can fall down gradually as frozen particles. With freezing rain, it's a little bit different. That area of warm air is just slightly expanded, so it's a little bit bigger, so it has more room to travel down as a raindrop, and then it hits the surface that's at freezing temperatures, and that's when you get that nasty ice that sticks to everything and causes some issues. And then of course rain it goes from freezing and then it melts all the way down because there's no freezing temperatures below it. So that's a look at why we have winter precipitation that's not snow across North Texas, and we hope that was a good explanation for these types. Moving on real quick, here's a look at our travel impacts today. We're being fairly aggressive with shifting our high-risk zone further to the east and southeast to include almost all of our coverage area. And the reason for that is we've seen many accidents this morning across the area, and just generally not a lot of people in North Texas are used to driving in the ice anyway. So we have, hazardous travel conditions, and we have hazards that people just aren't used to. So you don't want to try and brave through this because you're not going to be able to see the ice. It's going to be slicker than you probably think on the roads. So just it's a good day to stay home. We don't want any viewers in the area to be put in a situation where they're in an accident or something traveling. So we're discouraging traveling unless you absolutely need to, just because, like we said, we've seen a bunch of accidents. We don't like when people in North Texas are put in those types of situations, just because it's not fun, and we just don't like seeing people in North Texas affected by ice with accidents and stuff like that. So it's a good day to go ahead and stay home unless you absolutely need to travel. And if you do, please do so with extreme caution. Please reduce your speed. Give just ample time between you and other cars so that you have a good amount of spacing. Don't ride the car in front of you. Don't try and get them out of the way. It's not safe to go fast on the roads. Like I said, good day to go ahead and stay home. We have fairly high risk for travel impacts across the area today. And we've already seen some accidents on the road, and we don't want to see any more accidents. So we're just going to go ahead and say stay home unless you absolutely need to. It's a good day to just stay indoors and avoid the ice. So finally, here's a look at our 7-day forecast. We know that this one was a long one. Thank you for tuning in and watching this forecast. We got a lot to cover. We have another chance for winter precipitation even tomorrow. So we're not quite done with this, but temperatures might be a little bit warmer. So this might be more of a slush type event if we get to above freezing tomorrow with our highs, but still slick spots are possible. So we have winter precipitation and winter weather alert days through Wednesday. More rain on the way for Thursday. And then take a look at this. It looks pretty good as we head into this weekend and into next week. Now, the thing that we're watching for later this week is, of course, like we said, the models haven't been really good with handling Arctic air. So the biggest question is that Arctic air going to be able to move out quickly enough to be back into the 60s by this weekend, like some of them are depicting? Or is that Arctic air going to linger around for a couple of days and then eventually we make our way into the 60s by next week? So we've got that going on. Or watching that forecast, but otherwise it looks like it's going to be a mild to pleasant weekend with mostly sunny skies across the area. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you download our free Weather 225 mobile app. It's going to come in handy today. We have all of our winter forecasts at your disposal. We have live traffic, we have road condition maps, and we have Winter HQ. That's our button with all of our winter forecasts right at your disposal. You can even watch our live weather channel there 24/7. So Thank you for tuning in. You can find that app on Google or Apple, and you can you download it for free. You don't have to register for anything. So it's just download and start using. 100% free. Like we said, we don't ask you to register for anything or anything like that. So thank you for tuning in once again. Have a fantastic day in North Texas. Stay warm, stay safe, and also make sure you visit our friends at MyPro Construction and Roofing today. Give them a call or click and refer Weather 225. Whether it's sunny, stormy, or snowy in North Texas, be sure to download our free Weather 225 mobile app.